G'day and welcome back for more Survival Impossible. As you can see around me, things did not quite go to plan. I had hoped to weld up pretty much this whole thing before I started recording any more this episode. Like, do the time-lapse and then get into it. But I ran out of silicon. So, my plans slightly changed. What I think I'm going to do instead of what I had planned is slightly shuffle the order around a bit. I'm going to go out and I'm going to mine some silicon with the Goofy, and while that's processing and being turned into glass, I'm going to work on the beginnings of the drone design. Since I can't really, well, I can, but I don't really want to work on the interior design until I've welded up all that glass and have the tower mostly done. I'd really like to have the exterior shell finished so that I can work on the interior, maybe even within a pressurized environment. So let's grab the Goofy and find one of my silicon boulders. I think I probably have enough silicon up on the lawn chair base in order to send some down, but given I haven't fully welded up the Arboretum, and as there is a drop pod inside, maybe that's not the right thing to do first. Let's drop that, let's get rid of that, and then silicon. I'm hopeful that I won't need to mine more than one load of silicon, given that I don't recall mining much more than one load to begin with, and I got through quite a bit of the glass and all of the other stuff that I've done with silicon before that. But maybe it'll need two. So I think I've done about maybe a quarter to a third of the glass on the dome so far. Well, this is interesting. I marked this as silicon and it is cobalt. I think I may be running into a bug that quite a few other people have said they've experienced, where the boulders on your planet don't actually stay the same materials as they originally were. Hopefully I don't run into the other bug, which is the one where you can't drill the boulders. I figure since I'm here I may as well grab the cobalt because I'm going to need this for manufacturing the drones. Pretty sure I've got a decent supply of cobalt, but just in case, it doesn't hurt to grab some more. Alright, that's 2 loads of silicon, a bunch more cobalt, and a thrush that should clear me nicely. That means it is time to get started on building a drone. For this drone, what I'm thinking is I need to make something that's going to be able to fly, and fly for a reasonable amount of time immediately after being printed, because I want these to be printable. And so if I'm going to have something that's going to fly in 1.9 Gs, I think I'm going to have 2 batteries if I want it to fly for more than about 5 minutes. At least that's my best guess. I know that even in 1G, having a single battery with 25% charge, I really only got 15 to 20 minutes, so I'm expecting half of that. So that's why I'm leaning towards 2 batteries, even though that does make the drone more expensive. I'm also thinking I'm going to go with some battered charcoaly grey as the base coat, and then I might do some yellow like the Searchy on the rest of it. So thinking double batteries, so let's start with that, as they're going to be the bulkiest part of this thing. Pair of them like that I think is going to be the way to go. Then, what am I going to do with the connector and the merge block? I think I'll go connector underneath, and I think I've just made this annoying to do that. Of course I've done that. So connector on there so that we'll be able to rearm the drone and arm it in the first place. I shouldn't need any additional cargo since connectors hold a fair bit of ammunition. And then on the front here, let's go with a triple Gatling setup. 1, 2, and 3. That'll hopefully put out enough firepower that if I'm coming in on a cargo ship and I can see one turret, I should be able to comfortably get rid of that turret before it gets rid of me. Hopefully it's not 1 drone per turret, because that's just going to get a little bit too expensive. But at least this gives me enough firepower to put out there to hopefully do damage without taking too much myself. So the other stuff I'm going to need on here is a remote control block. I'm going to need a gyroscope. I reckon I'll put that on top of the remote, since if I lose either the gyro or the remote, I'm done for anyway, so I may as well attach them to each other, similarly to attaching most things to the battery. If I lose the batteries, the drone's gone. Then maybe I'll put the antenna at the rear, something like that. Just trying to think about where thrusters will be as well, and how I'm going to get enough lifting thrust to be able to get this thing to fly comfortably, since what I really need is enough lifting thrust that even when I start diving in on something, I can arrest that quickly without smashing into the ground, because any of you guys that have watched me fight in a drone before would know I have a habit of getting target fixated and sometimes smashing straight into them. Which, you know, it's not the worst thing in the world, because it just means that this is a very expensive missile. I'm going to put a merge block on the back here. I think I can have it here and still have it be able to disconnect from another grid if I have a merge block, say, there. I think. Because the connector doesn't have any attachment points around the round part of it. So the big reason I was thinking I'd really like to be able to fly this thing immediately on printing it is that I think if I'm in a battle, I don't want to really have to have a massive hangar full of these drones ready to go, having them already charged. I'd much rather be able to print one off and just have maybe one or two in storage, rather than needing that big storage space. And that way, if I lost two in a battle, I could still print one off quickly and get back in the fight. And that sounds like a better plan to me. Although I guess we'll just have to wait and see how it ends up going once I start trying to take down these cargo ships and get myself some loot. Alright, thruster design. This thing is going to focus primarily on lift, and I'm really going to skimp out on all of the other directional thrusts. That's to make it cheaper and lighter. So the lighter I make it, the longer the battery life, and the best way to make atmospheric ships light is to limit the number of thrusters they have, since thrusters are actually quite heavy. I'm going to guess that 3 thrusters on each side, so a total of 6, is going to be enough lift. And it is very much a guess, since I've not really built anything other than the Searchy to fly in 1.9G. I mean, I've built some of the cargo ships, but oh yeah, this is guesswork. And hopefully I don't mess it up too badly. I'd kind of like to be able to figure out a way to place more than just 2 reverse thrusters. I suppose I could do something like this and have 4. It's getting very crowded at the front there, though. No, I'm just going to stick with 2. I'll keep it lighter, and if it turns out that I crash too many of these going face first, then we know that I'll need to update the design and add the extra 2 thrusters. But let's see how this goes. I want to keep this as small from the front on as possible. The less exposure I have from the front, the less I'm going to get shot, because that's the target area I present to them. It's rare that I'm going to be flying side on to anything that's shooting me, so my profile can be long and big, but my face needs to be small. Alright, now we need some forward thrust. So 2 reverse, 2 forward, 2 left, 2 right, 6 lift. Yeah, that should do the trick. I'll weld up all those thrusters, and then I'll do a little bit of armor shaping around this, because I would like it to look at least a bit respectable. I don't want it to be just a really basic drone. I'd like it to have something to make it a bit more interesting. Oh, I just thought of an advantage of not having these thrusters, not having a second pair of thrusters underneath here. I can put a couple of long-range spotlights in there. That way, if I end up flying this in the dark, I'll hopefully be able to at least see my target, since those spotlights go out to quite a significant range. High power, that's the word I was looking for. High range. Oh, okay, let's turn all these thrusters off. I was just thinking, I've got the remote control and the gyroscope at the front. But I've got this little space here at the back. Instead of moving it, I might put a redundant one of both at the rear here, as the front is more likely to get shot up. So it probably doesn't hurt to have one. Have a spare that I can connect to. Now if I take some shots that I wasn't anticipating... Oh, hold up. What if I... No, I should definitely have it facing forward according to the rest of the ship. It's just thinking whether I should have this facing the other way so I can use it to run away if I do take damage to the other one. It's going to make this drone uglier having this bit at the back that I'm not sure what I'm going to do with, but still. Maybe something like this will look okay. Like those blocks around small grid, small thrusters are quite useful in terms of making shapes come together even if they otherwise wouldn't have. Those light armor corner 2x1x1 base pieces. This is a brick. Oh, don't like it when I make bricks. Let's try something. It's gonna look if I put that on there. A pair of those spikes coming out at the back. Oh yeah, that's a bit more interesting. I could even keep going with it and add a couple of bits here. Obviously, being an attack craft, I'm going for a bit more of a different aesthetic to my usual more industrial builds around here. That's why I'm changing up the color scheme to something darker and more, well, at least a little bit more menacing. Oh, right. I hadn't thought about that until just now. One of the nice things about a lot of the cargo ships is that there aren't that many heavy cannons on there. So mostly it's going to be going up against interior turrets, or at least I should try and pick on the ships that have primarily interior turrets. So even having a little bit of light armor in that instance can make the difference. But really the main reason to do strips like this is to create more points for these thrusters to attach to, so that if I get one of the blocks that they are attached to shot out, at least they'll hopefully not fall off because there's still another point with where they're stuck on. It's pretty boxy. These thrusters are all exposed, but I think to add some extra armor around them, the whole thing is going to get, well, more bulky than I'm happy to have it be. So I feel like, yeah, she's done. Just needs a paint job, and do this while I'm remembering, because the worst thing is when you fly a drone outside of your antenna range. Gonna have to think of a name for it. Let's paint it and then see. Yellow like Sergi, or orange, whatever you want to call this color. I mean, the obvious name for this is going to be something like Bumblebee or Wasp or something like that, but I've already got Wasps, and I've kind of got, well, I've already got Wasps as the assertive drones, so maybe I need to come up with something that's not an insect. And I don't really want to call this a chicken hawk because I've already got my chicken hawks from Survival Maybe. So what to call this drone? Might have to leave this one open to you guys. I'm drawing a blank. Complete blank. Normally I've at least got something. Nope, got nothing. So if you've got any ideas of what to call this thing, let's add some cameras while I'm here, because I probably need that so that I can even fly it. But yeah, if you've got any ideas of what I should call it, any fun names, let me know, so that hopefully by next week this can have a name. Couple of cameras there. Do I have... I should put an extra camera on the back here, even though it may mean I have to fly backwards. It could mean that it's the only way I can fly. But I do always like having a few redundant cameras. Oh no. Incoming mosquito. As I said, drones named as insects. Oh! So, the upgrade to assertive mod has not been done yet. Suffocating. I need to get out in the open. It's going to shoot at me. Bulldog's getting out of here. Down. Really need to fix that. So what I'm going to do, hopefully before next week, as I had planned to do it before this week, but hopefully before next week, I will have the assertive mod updated so that it will target the nearest grid or player, whatever is closer. So the really cool thing about that will be when you see, say, an assertive ship fighting a Reaver. They will spawn drones that will then attack the Reaver instead of coming to the nearest player, even though the thing is being attacked by a Reaver, not the player. That's one of the things I'm really excited about doing. But I kind of failed to get it done in time before I did this recording. I tried this morning before I started the recording, but kept running into issues. So hopefully I'll have those fixed by next time, because I would really like that for the coming fights with the cargo ships. There we go. Have a drone. It is also nighttime outside, so might be waiting until morning before I try and take this out. I'd like to fight during the day for the first few fights, just to give myself the better chance of actually surviving, but I guess I could do a test flight. Oh yeah, she flies, she controls. It's not too bad. I'm going to need to go out and find some more of that magnesium too, that's right. That's another thing I can use the night for. Go out and grab some magnesium so I can make some more ammunitions. So I wanted to just move this off to the side. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to build... I should probably build a connector on here, shouldn't I? No. I should build the merge block. And then I can blueprint this thing and I can project it and replace it. Well, I was about to say if, but I should probably say when I get it shot down or I crash it. However, I probably should have created a group of all these thrusters. Right, off to get some magnesium. So what I've done is I've actually put the silicon ore into the basic refineries. Even though I know I don't get as much from it, right now I've got quite a lot of ores to process, and I can get silicon from stone, so I'm not too worried about how much I actually get from the ore that I've mined. What I'd really like to do is get some of this magnesium refined so that I can get a bit more ammunition. I've got a few cases of ammo here, but it's not an awful lot, so I'd like to be able to accumulate a decent amount of a stockpile before I start trying to take on these cargo ships. I think what I'm first going to do is just try my piloting skills up against some of the drones, rather than taking on a full-on cargo ship, at least to begin with. And then once I feel like I've got a good handle on the drones and I'm ready to be able to manufacture a good stock of them, then I might try and take one, well, not might, then I will try and take on one of those bigger cargo ships. Guess while I wait for morning, I should probably try and get a little bit more of the welding done on this. Don't think I've processed enough of the silicon yet to get all of the glass done, but at least I can get a bit more done. I've been taking a few more chances with my oxygen supply. Because the glass is such a big thing to have to carry, I've cut down the number of bottles I've been carrying, with the expectation that I have to go back to the base all the time to grab more glass anyway, so I should be able to, as long as I remember, supply myself with enough oxygen, or resupply myself with oxygen frequently enough that it won't become a problem. That's the hope, anyway. Who knows if that will actually turn out to be true? Just means that I cannot afford to forget to refill my bottle each time I go back. And I've been, in terms of mental effort, lazy about how I've been doing things. I have been wandering back to the base every single time. I started thinking about getting the glass into the searchy box, but even with that, the glass is just so bulky. And plus, I didn't want to have to keep moving many spotlights. I really need to make a spotlight thing so that that's not a concern or anything to factor into my decisions. Next time I build a structure, I'm going to build something that can actually be piped up to the main system so that I can use the piping and build it first, so that I don't have to do this again. But obviously with the daily needs stuff and the fact that for some reason in Space Engineers, if you add a new type of assembly, you can't drop it further down the queue. Like, make it so that it doesn't appear first here. I want to keep that building separate. And I think I previously mentioned in an episode that I spoke to Scalabjon about that, and yeah, he has tried to work out a way to do that and has not been able to find any means by which you can stop the new assembler from being the prioritized one. Which is sad, but it doesn't really matter. It gives me an excuse for having this building properly separate, which does make for a little bit more interest around the place when they're not all connected to one another. Gotta be so careful with this. That is a long way to fall, because I will fall all the way down, I think, if I were to fall off there. Ow! That was lucky. It wasn't that big a fall. That is my first fall off the scaffolding, though. I need to be careful that doesn't happen again. I may need to bring some extra construction components in there because I can't really reach those bits of window. Or that one. Making good progress though, I'm onto the dome pretty much. There are a couple of bits and pieces around the place that I haven't done. Largely because I've been trying to do the glass that I can actually see from Steve's point of view in the time lapse. So that's kind of dictated where I've gone and what I've done more than anything else. But getting there. Definitely making some meaningful progress as it slowly comes closer to dawn. And then I get to do a dawn raid, assuming there's a cargo ship nearby. That's when when dawn hits. Do I need to do anything else from the inside, or can I do the rest of this class from the outside? I've got all of the iron in, I've got all of the vertical parts done. Yeah, I can start running on the outside. Oh, that should save a decent amount of time. Oh dear. Where's the down? Don't like seeing that pop up when I'm thinking about how I get down. The sun has risen, and unfortunately that thrush has kind of gotten past the base, so I'm going to wait for the next cargo ship, and then I'm going to test this drone up against some of the enemy drones. The dome is slowly coming together, but it is taking quite some time to get all of the silicon refined for all that glass, which is slightly frustrating because I really wanted to get that thing done, and it just doesn't want to get done. Oh well. Oh, I should check. Have I armed the drone? I can't remember. Don't think I put any ammo in yet. That would be a resounding no, I have not. There we go, armed. And waiting. I'm going to try and get Steve to relative spectate this drone. If the relative spectator doesn't work, I reckon next time what I'll do is I'll stick a Steve seat right on top and he can just ride the drones into battle. Because then I'll definitely get a third-person view of what's going on. Because I think that would be quite cool to see. But it'd be nice if I don't have to use that. Oh, I hope it works. Now I guess I should do some welding while I wait. Alrighty, Panini sidecar incoming, 3.28 k's away. Let's get this thing disconnected from the dock. Okay, Steve is tracking. Let's get inside. I need a quick bit of charge so I don't run out of suit charge while I'm controlling it. Now this first one, I don't really want to take on the Panini itself. I want to try and take out one of these drones and just see how difficult or not that battle might be. Oh, forgot to blueprint it. Blueprinted. Done. I will name it later. Okay. Oh, hold up. Is this thing going to get in range anyway? Oh, it might get close. Oh! Awesome! When there's wreckage around, I can now take this thing out to try and take on the wreckage just to check so I don't have to take anything valuable in there. I don't really want the drone to drop on the base. I want it to come after me, so I'm not sure whether to go after this Panini now or whether to... yeah, let's just go. Let's do this thing. Height first. Remembering that I mainly have lift thrusters, I don't have much in the directionals. do an attack run. Let's give this a go. Okay, drone incoming. Taking fire out. Oh, getting hit. Heard a hit. Felt a hit. Oh, something blew up. Oh, I think I've taken a lot of hits. Oh. Okay, taking on the Panini first was not a good move. Do I have enough thrust to get myself back in the valley? I'm coming down. I'm going down hard. Come on. Come on, little ship. You can do it. You can do it. I keep glancing backwards to look at Steve's point of view. See what I can see. I should really stop doing that. Okay, I have some of my drone left. I have enough to fly though. I lost a gun. Oh, let's go see. Let's check out the damage. Oh, that was a bit of a debacle. Okay, it's worth remembering that I cannot take on one of these cargo ships with just one drone unless I get very good at flying this thing. But considering I took some fire and this thing hasn't been destroyed, I'm going to call that a win. Ish, I guess. Oh, I don't have my reverse camera. I need to go out there. Oh, what have I done to this thing? Okay, I took some bullets to the rear, and I think I lost a battery. Ooh, I lost a front battery. And I damaged the connector. Let's turn on the merge block. And we repair. Oh boy. Still, it's... Oh, the gyro at the back died. Right. And look at that. Some ammunition. The destroyed turret must have dropped its ammo in there. That's kind of funny. And very lucky. Because it means I didn't waste any ammo. Oh, I lost a thruster over this side. So lucky I didn't lose that second battery. Can't believe this thing had enough resilience to stand up to that beating. It's kind of cool. I don't for a second believe I should put myself in a position to take a beating like that again, but kind of cool that it did survive. Nice that it didn't lose everything. Hopefully I can get this thing up and running quickly enough to go and take on some other stuff out there. Wait, what? Wait a second, did I cause enough damage to cause that Panini to crash? Or is it just flying there? There's a sitting duck. Oh, I gotta get this thing fixed. Because I did that. That's not a... That's not me taking advantage. That is... I did that. I took out something. Did I somehow take out its remote control block? That would be some serious luck if those random... Well, somewhat random bullets took out its remote control block. I really need to, when I next have a nighttime where I'm not going to be using these things, I need to set this up so that I've got a projector to either repair or replace the drones once they're shot up. I kind of need to get this fixed up quickly so I can get up there and investigate. But I do want to give it at least some of its tissue paper armor back. Because light armor on small grid really is just that. It is wet tissue paper. It is not going to do a whole lot. But I reckon some of the pieces of armor on this were actually the difference. Obviously I don't want to make this thing so heavy that I can't move, so I can't put so much armor on it that it's reasonably protected. So there's always that consideration to keep in mind, and that's why I don't tend to use heavy armor on small grids. It doesn't do a lot more in terms of protection, but it does do a lot more in terms of adding weight and reducing maneuverability. And when this thing's already going to be a bit limited in its maneuverability because I'm deliberately dropping weight off it by not having too many thrusters, I need to be careful about that. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Give me the computers. Okay, paint job isn't spot on, but it should be right. That should do. A little bit of ammo back in there for that extra, for the gun I re-added. And let's get it back up in the air. Of course, drinking some water first because I was running low. Okay. Time to investigate. Don't have a huge amount of power reserve, but I think I've got enough. If I've taken out the remote control, that means this Panini sidecar is not going to be able to call any drones in to assist, which means I should be better able to take on this thing just picking up its turrets from a distance. Since it's stationary, I think that might be the case. Its turrets are still going to do the damage, and they're still going to have their 800 meters range, so it's not without teeth. But if I can bring this thing down, I'm going to be doing so over mountains. That's going to be wonderful for recovery efforts. Great. It's just what I don't want. Why am I sinking? Why am I sinking? Oh, because those thrusters went in the group. Ones I replaced. They were still off. I was running on 5 thrusters. Okay, let's see what state this thing is in. Can't tell from here. I guess I should try and take out... Oh, what's going to be the best angle? Probably... Yeah, probably having this, the interior turrets being able to shoot me, but just one of the bigger turrets is likely to be the best angle. Oh, my view is not square. That explains a lot. Come on, take out that turret, take out that turret, take out that... Yes! Okay, now we can take on these two. Nope, now I can crash into the ground. Come on! Lift! Lift! Oh, jeez. Ow! Dang it! Thought it was outside range. Ah. Okay, this thing definitely is dead in the water. This could make for some interesting piracy tactics on my part, since I can't fly up there with a jetpack. If I can manage to disarm this thing and it's hovering there, there could be some role for me flying myself up here on a drone or something along those lines, taking that chance. Take on that turret, take out that turret, take out that turret. Oh, my spray of bullets is so wide. Oh, I took out my armor. Yep, one turret down. Alright. No! Oh, come down! Okay. Those 2 turrets are down. I sneak up on this thing and get myself in a position to take out that front turret in a sort of surprise attack. How much damage have I taken? Well, I can't see anything that's broken. Let's see if I can pick out that turret without doing too much damage to everything else. That'll be a yes. Oh, I've got a better idea of how I could mess with this thing. Yes. Yes, I do. Turrets down. Oh, yeah. Oh. Oh, no, that's the flames coming through from inside. I thought I'd somehow damaged that control seat. Right. Well, I think I know what I'm up to next time. I'm hoping I can bring this thing down without stuff like that ladybug spawning in drones to take me on. How's my power going? 11 minutes. Alright, leave that there. Hope its power holds out long enough that it doesn't crash to the ground. I'm going to have to take out the drone from this ladybug. Oh, I'm going to get fire range, that's bad. Don't get hit, don't get hit. Okay, mosquito. Time for you to take on whatever future me calls this. Oh no, it hit me! Ooh. Oh no. I'm out of ammo. It didn't hit me. Well, that was a good time for me to leave. Oh, jeez. I would say this has been a very successful mission. Very successful indeed. Go in, land, recharge, rearm, and next time, think about how to bring down that Panini sidecar so that I can actually make use of it and turn it into potentially my fuel lifter rig to get back up to the lawn chair. Assuming I can bring down enough of it intact to be useful, which is all going to depend on how long it takes me to get up there and how much battery power it's got left. Because it is burning through fuel quickly while it's up there. So, the drone is landed, it is getting some charge, I'll need to rearm it shortly, and come up with a plan to try and bring that Panini sidecar down here. As much intact as possible, and with as minimal risk to bodily harm for me as possible as well. Might even get some more welding done on the dome. So there's all that, and plenty more to come, and I will see you then. I think this is going to be fun. Very, very fun.